Let's examine whether proposed mechanisms by which vaccines could cause cancer are biologically plausible. Understanding the actual mechanics of how mRNA vaccines work demonstrates why many claimed cancer pathways are scientifically implausible. mRNA vaccines deliver genetic instructions for producing viral spike protein. The mRNA enters cell cytoplasm, the fluid surrounding the nucleus, where ribosomes translate it into protein. Critically, mRNA does not enter the nucleus where DNA resides. It cannot integrate into your genome because it lacks the enzymatic machinery required for reverse transcription and integration. The mRNA is fragile, degrading within days as cellular enzymes break it down. After translation, the spike protein gets displayed on cell surfaces, triggering immune responses, then is eliminated. This temporary, localized process contrasts sharply with what would be required to cause cancer. Carcinogenesis requires sustained DNA damage, activation of oncogenes, inactivation of tumor suppressor genes, or chronic inflammation allowing malignant transformation. Let's examine whether mRNA vaccines could plausibly cause these. DNA damage requires either direct interaction with genetic material or generation of damaging molecules like reactive oxygen species. mRNA confined to cytoplasm can't directly damage nuclear DNA. While immune activation produces some inflammatory molecules, this response is transient, days to weeks, not the chronic inflammation associated with cancer development. Oncogene activation requires genetic mutations or epigenetic changes persistently altering gene expression. mRNA vaccines code for a single foreign protein, not regulatory molecules that would alter human gene expression. The spike protein doesn't have transcription factor activity or mechanisms to modify gene regulation. Tumor suppressor inactivation through p53 mutation or similar changes would require sustained genetic damage or viral integration, neither of which mRNA vaccines can cause. The mRNA doesn't persist long enough for chronic effects and lacks mechanisms for genomic integration. Some have claimed immune suppression from vaccination could allow cancer development, but this contradicts both mechanism and observation. mRNA vaccines activate immunity. That's their purpose. Temporary immune focusing on vaccine antigens doesn't constitute immunosuppression. And immunosuppressed patients actually show reduced vaccine efficacy, contradicting claims that vaccines suppress immunity. Contrast this with actual known biological carcinogens. Chronic infections like hepatitis B integrate into host genomes, causing persistent inflammation and direct DNA damage over decades, eventually leading to liver cancer. HPV integrates into cervical cells, inactivating tumor suppressors and causing cancer. Tobacco smoke contains chemicals directly damaging DNA through multiple mechanisms. Radiation causes double-strand DNA breaks triggering mutations. These are mechanistically plausible because they involve sustained interaction with genetic material. mRNA vaccines lack these mechanisms. The transient presence of mRNA and spike protein, followed by elimination, doesn't provide sustained cellular stress needed for carcinogenesis. The immune response resolves, unlike chronic infections maintaining inflammatory environments for years. Interestingly, actual viral infections that vaccines prevent have documented cancer links. HPV causes cervical, throat, and other cancers. Hepatitis B causes liver cancer. Epstein-Barr virus is associated with lymphomas. COVID infection itself causes sustained inflammation, potential long-term immune dysregulation, and documented multi-organ effects that could theoretically increase cancer risk through chronic damage, though this remains under investigation. Biological plausibility doesn't absolutely prove impossibility. Science has been surprised before. But when proposed mechanisms violate fundamental understanding of cellular biology, and when no plausible pathway exists for claimed effects, extreme skepticism is warranted. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and biological implausibility raises the bar for what evidence would be convincing. This is why mechanistic understanding matters alongside epidemiological evidence. Not only do large studies fail to find vaccine-cancer associations, but we lack plausible mechanisms by which such associations could exist. Both lines of evidence point the same direction. Vaccines don't cause cancer.